A Java server page is, in a way, the inverse of a servlet. While a servlet is a Java program with HTML code inside it, a JSP is an HTML page with Java code embedded inside it. To write one, you write an HTML page, but use the file name suffix .jsp instead of .html. Here's a very simple example. It has all the normal attributes of an HTML page. It has the surrounding HTML tags at the top and bottom, and has a head and a body. As I said, this one is very simple. It's just so I can show you the contents of this special tag. You can put any Java code you want inside this tag. This is Java code that opens a for loop. Notice that it opens it, but it doesn't close it. The bottom of the loop is actually down here in a completely separate tag. Now, it may look to you as if the two blocks of Java code wouldn't be related, but that's not true. It all comes together as a single unit in the end. Look at it this way. An automatic process translates this whole thing into a class by using output print statements on the regular HTML code and including the Java statements just as they are. Then the whole thing is compiled and run as a servlet to produce a web page. In some ways, this is more complicated than a servlet, but in other ways, it's simpler. Anything you can do in one, you can do in the other, but they're different in how you go about doing it. You don't compile a JSP, you just deploy it and run it. But you always need the web.xml file. But you don't need anything in it for a JSP. The file must exist to make the WAR file deployable, but you don't have to mention anything about the JSPs. And here's the build script. Just like before, an application directory is constructed. It has the web.inf directory with the classes and lib subdirectories, but this example doesn't put anything into those directories. The Java server page is copied to the top level of the application directory, and the web.xml page is copied to its normal place inside the web.inf directory. And that's all. The WAR file is built with just that. There, the JSP should be deployed. If it is deployed, it should show up the same as the previous WAR files showed up. And there it is. If we enter its URL, we should be able to see the output of the Java server page. Notice the delay here. That's because the first time you run the JSP, it has to be translated and then compiled before it can run. You can avoid this delay, and we'll be talking about doing that later. There's the page with a repeated line of text according to the Java loop that was executed when the generated program ran. Here is the HTML code that was returned to the browser. The Java code's gone. It was not generated as part of the output when the compiled Java server page was executed.